Hello everyone and welcome to My Organized Life, where I'm trying to get my life organized. If you're new to the channel, a huge hello and welcome to you. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. So today we're going to be going through and doing a check-in on my May paycheck number 2. I can't believe I'm already halfway through this paycheck already. It seems like it flew by, especially since I've been on days off, I think. So it's just, I don't know where that last week went. I had 9 days off and it literally feels like I maybe had 5. But I was able to get a lot done, so I do feel pretty productive. And I was hoping that since I was on days off that there would be a lot less spending, and that actually was not the case. I think because I was home and honestly a little bit bored and not preoccupied, I might have actually spent a little bit more than I probably would have at work, but who knows, maybe not. This is my budget binder. I use the PDF version of the Budget by Paycheck workbook by The Budget Mom. So the first thing I like to do when I check in with my budget is I just like to make sure that I've been tracking my expenses properly. So I'm just going to flip to my trackers here. So I just like to make sure that my current ending balance is the same as what I have actually on hand. So we're going to start with the accounts first though. And then I'm just going to keep track in the sticky notes here. So we're going to check what's in the Debit Plus account, what's in the basic savings, what's in cash, and what's in change. So starting with the basic savings. So I have, in that account, I have $997.89. Okay, so I know that this is off somewhere in here because I have there's a 2-cent difference, which isn't a huge deal, but since this is an account, it would be easy to find because I would just have to go through everything 10 to 1. I probably put a number in wrong. Okay, so I'm just silly. So I just, for some reason, instead of writing 89, I wrote 87. So this is actually supposed to be a 9. And see, I don't think I wrote this in erasable pen, but I did. It just does not want to come off. Okay, so that is right. So we're good there. Okay, so now let's check the Debit Plus. So we should have $38.37 in that account. So I have $38.37 in that account. So we're good there. That one is perfect. Okay, so I've got my cash envelopes here. So I'm just going to go through and add everything up. So I'm going to start with cab money, which I include this in cab money, not change. So in cab money, I've got $25, $26, $27, $28, $29, $30. So 30. Okay, in lunch money, got 20, 40, 60, 70. So plus 70. In groceries, we've got 30. Takeout. We've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 55. Miscellaneous, we've got 10. And then beauty and pet shouldn't have anything, I don't think. Okay, so for cash, there's 195. So then now let's count change. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got $7 there. 25, 50, 75, another $1, so plus 1. And then let's see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75. So we have $8.75 in change. Okay, so let's go through this. We're gonna go $8.75 plus the $1.95 in cash equals $203.75. So we are off slightly. Okay, so I'm off by $1.05. The 5 cents just brought back a memory. I did give Carbon a nickel to put in one of those little money things where if you put a coin in, you can watch it like spin around and then it goes down like a bunch of contraptions. I'm not sure the name of them, like one of those little fun donation things. So I did let him put a nickel in one of that, or in one of those. The dollar though, I'm not sure where that's missing, but I'm definitely not aiming for perfect budgets anymore, but close to is good enough for me. So what did I do with my erasable pen here? So I'm going to do the same thing that I did last time. So I've got a check-in adjustment here. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So on the 28th, so this is going to be a check-in adjustment. And this is just so my ending total is accurate. That doesn't mean that I'm actually adding this money in. My budget is still going to be off, which is okay. I mean, I could even use a line to take that 5 cents off, but I'm honestly not too worried about it. So check-in adjustment, and this is going to be, it would be a withdrawal of $1.05 because I'm missing $1.05. So 203.75. I'm just going to put a minus sign here. That way I know this isn't just like a normal spending. This is an adjustment. And then I'm also going to, I'm going to take the change out of my miscellaneous envelope. So I think when I do my budget check-ins, I'm going to keep my loonies and toonies, but I'm going to take my change out for check-ins and then at the end of the budget as well and just throw it in my change jar. That way my change jar fills up faster and just lessens my change as well. So this is going to be for the change jar. So miscellaneous, and it's going to be $1.75, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, yeah, so $1.75. So that would make this 202 even, right? Okay, so coming back to this. So cash was $195 plus $8.75. So this was $203.75. Okay, so plus the $997.89 in basic savings plus $38.37 in my other account. So right now I have $1,240.01. Obviously I feel really good going into the rest of the week with that, and I'm going to try my best not to touch any of the money in there. Okay, so we are good for this part of the check-in. So if anybody's new, I like to check in halfway through my budget and just make sure everything's right. That way, if there is an error, let's say I was missing a large amount of money or I had a large amount of money, it makes it easier to go back through a week's worth of transactions than 2 weeks worth of transactions when I close out the paycheck. Or if you don't close out the paycheck, you're potentially going through a whole month of transactions depending on when you realize you have an error. So I like to check in and just make sure that I'm on track, do an adjustment, that way my running total after this will be the same. And then a nice thing about doing this adjustment here is I know that in here I was $1 off, technically $1.05 if you want to count that nickel I gave to Carbon, but I'm not going to count that. So I was off $1.05 in here. So for this next week of spending, if it's off, I know that it was somewhere in here too. So it makes it a little bit easier to see where it is in case I did want to go and try and find it. But for $1, I'm not too worried about it. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is going through and updating my expense tracker for my Walmart Mastercard. So I like to track my usage on here. So everything I've spent, my payments, and then I do keep 2 running totals. I've got what I have usable versus what I have owing. So we left off on the 20th and we were doing really good. This is pretty good for just, I think this is, 2 weeks worth of spending. So it's gonna be bad now because I have done a lot. And I think with my Walmart Mastercard, I've talked about this a little bit, but if anybody's new or doesn't know how the Walmart Mastercards work, you do get rewards points for using them, which is good if you can use them responsibly. The first, when I got my Walmart Mastercard, I can't remember, I think it was in the summer, so I used it for about half a year, and by the time Christmas came around, I had $50 of rewards points on it that I was able to put towards Christmas stuff. So it did eliminate the cost of a couple presents that I wanted to get, which was really nice. So I would definitely like to keep using it and rack up those rewards points because they do add up really quickly, especially if you're shopping at Walmart, and that's where we usually get all of our groceries. And they are really beneficial later on down the road for saving money. Again, it's only beneficial though, and you only save money if you use the card responsibly. So I definitely want to use it as much as possible, but I'm still going to be putting cash away for any expenses that I put on here going forward in the future. But I think I'm gonna need 2 of these trackers. So I might have to update my budget book a little bit. But anyways, the 20th was the last thing we recorded down. So we made a payment of $75 on the 20th. This was to cover groceries that I put on my Walmart Mastercard. So I just rounded up. So see the 20th, we made a payment. So I can see that here. Also on the 20th, since I have a red line here, I'm just gonna write the 20th again here. Here on the 19th, I had an Amazon Prime charge. What happened was I used a free month's trial of Amazon Prime on the US Amazon for sending giveaway prizes to my giveaway winners on my other channel, and I forgot to cancel it. So they did charge me, but I canceled it the next day when I noticed, and they did refund me the amount. So we see that here. So I'm just gonna put Amazon Prime refund. I wonder if this is going to throw it off. Credit cards are weird. They're very hard to track. So technically this was a deposit of $16.17. Although here, when I wrote this down, they had only charged me $15.75. But now looking back on it, it does match. It's $16 and not really. It's $16.14 apparently. It's confusing. We're just going to go through this and see what happens. So yeah, they put $16.17 back on the card. And then on the 21st, my Naughty Knickers subscription came out. So I did add a couple new subscriptions. New to my budget, but not new to me. I did have this membership way before I started budgeting, so I did bring this back. So that was $12.46. I have an Etsy payment here. I can't remember what this was for. I made a lot of Etsy purchases recently, so I can't quite remember, but it was for $4.43. Okay, and then on the 23rd, there is a lot here, so bear with me. Okay, so we've got a payment. My credit card kind of orders things weirdly, so I don't know what days this actually happened or like what order. As long as we have everything written down though, it's not too bad. So I made a payment of $57.63. I don't know what this was for, but I also spent that same amount at Walmart. So okay, I remember. So again, I just got groceries at Walmart and then I made a payment to pay it off, pretty much. Okay, so this was an Etsy transaction through PayPal. I'm just going to put PayPal/Etsy. This was for $5.04. Curious on where these purchases came from. It's bad when I'm writing stuff down and I don't remember. So this Etsy payment was for $1,000 bill placeholders because I was able to put $1,000 in my emergency fund, but I'm keeping it in my account. So I bought this cute little $1,000 bill placeholder for that. This one, I believe, was for cleaning stickers. They're for the sidebar and planners. That way you just have a cleaning list that you do throughout the week. I'm really bad with cleaning, so I'm hoping that that will kind of help me. I think for the majority of these payments or purchases, I did put payments on to cover it. So we'll see how this looks at the end. I'm more just curious with this Amazon refund if that's going to mess up my ending totals. Okay, so that was $5.04. Okay, and then also on Etsy, like I said, I made a lot of Etsy purchases. I spent $111.07, and this was for monthly kits. I think I bought 4 different monthly kits from different stores to try them out to see which store I want to use next year, because I would like to get into doing monthly kits next year. And the reason this is so high is because I did pay a lot of shipping, especially from the one store. It's in the US, so I paid like $23 in shipping just for the 2 kits, which is not very good. However, they are the store that I'm leaning towards. They have 2 different options though. There's a kit without a sidebar and a kit with a sidebar. So I bought one of each type to see which one I would like better. And then if I do decide to go with that one, it wouldn't be so bad because I would be buying 12 sticker kits for the whole year at once, and I would only be paying $23 shipping for them. So I do like to test things out before I make a decision. So even though this is fairly expensive now, it will hopefully save me money in the long run, or at least help me know what I want. So yeah, and then again on Etsy, I spent $68.95. And this was from a store called Joy of Planning, and she has these cute little adorable girl stickers, and I just had to get some of them, so I bought a few of those, and that's what the total was there. And then, of course, to cover all of that, I've got a payment here of $215. So this covers a lot of different stuff. It covers the stickers, and then I got some stuff off Amazon. This was from my May savings challenges. So I used my money from that to treat myself a little bit, get some of the stickers and some other stuff for the channel and other stuff for my house that I wanted. So I did use the $215 that I had saved up for May, plus some of my miscellaneous money from this budget to go towards this stuff. So responsible, trying to be. This is crazy, but I also had a lot more stickers in my cart on Etsy, and I think it took me about 3 days to finalize the purchase and actually send it through. But every day I would go back and just flip through the stickers and think to myself, like, do I really need this one? Can I live without it? So I did eliminate quite a few stickers, and that was my way of trying to adult while also buying crazy amounts of stickers. So moving up to the 24th. So I've got a PayPal charge of $25.02. And if I remember correctly, I bought 12 kits or sets of digital paper. I'm not really sure what to call them. And this is just for stickers for my new planner that I've been working on. I've been kind of playing around with making my own stickers for it to kind of customize it and make it my own. So that is what this is for. And then on the 25th, that Amazon payment came out for the stuff that I got off of there. And that was for $57.89. And then on the 26th, I made a payment, and this was for $435.87. So this was for benefits money went on here, as well as quite a big chunk of my tax money just to pay this down quite a bit, and I'm working on just slowly lowering my balance. I don't want to put it exactly at 0 just because of stuff that's always bouncing back and forth on the card, so I want to keep it at always owing a small amount but not crazy. So I did put a large payment on there. And then the 27th, and then on the 27th, I made a payment of $65, and this was out of my miscellaneous envelope to cover the remaining total for this stuff. And then also we have a Fortnite expense. Rain bought card in the Fortnite pass and my card is on Carbon's account, so it charged me for that. Not a huge deal. It's $15.99. And then today, my HP Instant Ink came out. And that was for $4.19. Okay, so this is quite a bit. So let's see where we're at. So for my two running totals, my owing is what I owe on the card. So if I make a purchase, I owe more. So I add my purchases and deduct payments. And then for usable, it's the opposite. Let's go through and do owing first. Okay, so we're starting off with $535.87. So this is a payment technically, so we're going to take this off. This would be $519.70, and then this was a purchase, so we're adding it. Okay, I'm going to go through and speed the rest of this up, and then we'll see where we're leaving off at. Okay, this is supposed to be an 8. Okay, so if we go 108.87 plus 89113 equals 1,000. Okay, so we are good there, thankfully. All right, so this right here is awesome. I would like to get this down to, I'm thinking keeping it around $50. So I want to always have $50 owing on the card. That way, because I like to round my payments. So for like Naughty Knickers, if I pay $13, it's not going to be overpaying them. It's just going to take a little bit off that $50. Or if I want to underpay them by $12, it's fine. I don't really have to worry about overpaying them. I don't know what would happen if I did. What would happen if you overpay a credit card? I'm not sure. Yeah, that is it for the Walmart Mastercard. It's really nice to see this. I'm going to get it down a little bit more, and then we're going to keep it there, and I'm going to make sure that I am putting money aside for everything that I put on here. So I do plan on using this more. I'm still going to use my cash envelopes though, and I'm just going to do like I did before, like for a couple of these miscellaneous payments. I put a little bit of money aside for my miscellaneous envelope, and then when I went to Walmart, I just took the $65 with me and put it on my card. So doing it that way is really easy, and then it'll help me still be mindful. Like, it's not like I'm using money that's not there. I have to decide whether it's worth it to take this money out of my envelopes and put it on my card to make that purchase. And one of you said that a while ago, I can't remember who, and it's really good to keep you grounded and responsible on what you're actually spending on. All right, so then lastly, we're going to be going through the spending tracker here. All right, so I've got these little spending trackers that I made for myself, and then I also have these no spend stickers by Caffeinated Kate, and that is what we're going to be using for this. Everything I use and then some will be linked in the description box below, so everything from Etsy will have its own link, and then everything from Amazon will be included in one link that will take you to my idea list, which is categorized in different categories so you can browse through and see what you fancy. Okay, so we're just going to go through my categories here. So for cab money, I didn't spend anything. For lunch money, so far I have also not spent anything because I didn't work. For groceries, I did spend a little bit. On the 23rd, I spent $67.85 at Safeway. And then at Walmart, I spent $57.63. Oh, that's nice to see. I was running low on grocery stickers, so I did go through and edit my spending trackers and printed off in some of the categories that I'm low on. So I did make them a little bit longer, and I made the lighter box a little bit longer on them as well. They still fit in here almost perfectly, so I like that. That looks good. So that was it for groceries. So the next category we've got is takeout. So on the 25th, we went to Sev and we got some taquitos after we dropped Carbon off for school. And that was all we've spent on takeout so far. So then miscellaneous. Of course, you already know there's going to be a lot of those. Found my tweezers. There we go. Couldn't find them before. And they were hiding. So on the 21st, I put $15 towards carbon sinking or savings challenges. So I just counted that in miscellaneous. And then on the 23rd, we made those Amazon purchases. So I put $255 towards miscellaneous. This was what went on my card. And then on the 25th, this was that $25 for those digital paper designs that I got off of Etsy for my stickers for my other planner, which you guys will see in the future. And then on the 27th, I spent $14.15 at Walmart. I got a file folder because I'm going through all of my files and getting rid of the papers that I no longer need and just organizing that. So that is it for miscellaneous. We didn't have any beauty expenses. I did have to buy cat food, so we do have that. And that was on the 23rd. So we went to Pet Value and got cat food there. Okay, so that is it for pet, and then on to bills. So we do have several bill expenses. So on the 21st, I put $125 towards my land tax. On the 25th, I put that money towards my Walmart Mastercard. So that was $435.87. And then also on the 25th, our land tax bill came out, so I got that paid straight away. So that was $2,900.73 and some change. So my budget this month is going to be out to lunch by a lot. Because this is a huge number, so I brought this into my budget and then took it out. And then we also have the savings challenges that I put towards miscellaneous, so those go into my budget and taken out. And then I also need to go and get the cat's prescription food here soon. I could probably wait until next month, but I figure why not do all of these large purchases in 1 month, and then my budget can get back to normal after that. So I'm going to do that this budget as well. So the last thing for bills was on the 27th, and this was for benefits. So I did go ahead and transfer Rain that money because the government for some reason put it in my account. So I just sent in the $284 for the benefits and then kept the other $50, and I'm going to put that on my Mastercard. So that is it for bills. And then lastly, sinking funds. So I didn't put a date on this, but I assume this was the 21st because that's when I do my budget, all of that budget stuff. So towards sinking funds, we put $1,617. So it was $617 towards the usual sinking funds, and then $1,000 towards my emergency sinking fund. I did get my tax return back, and thankfully I didn't owe anything. I actually got quite a bit back, so we put $1,000 towards the emergency fund. And then it's also nice because I have like $900 saved up for taxes, which I'm just going to keep adding into, and then I'm going to see how taxes look next year, and if I don't owe anything and get a return back, then it'll be interesting to see where that money goes towards. But I'm also going to take half out of what I have saved for my taxes for some furniture and stuff that we've been wanting for the house. But I don't want to take that money out yet. We're going to wait a year, see how it goes, and make absolute certain that we're not going to need that money for taxes, just to be responsible and play it safe. All right, so that is what spending is looking like so far. There is a lot of miscellaneous in here. I think this is looking good. I'm excited to close out May and see how crazy it looks because I know it's going to look insane with these huge numbers in here. I guess before we leave, we should probably put in our no spend days first, huh? So we did have a few of them, not as many as I was hoping, but still quite a few. So let's see, we've got a no spend on the 22nd. Also got one on the 24th. And the 26th. So only 3 no spend days in there, which is kind of silly. I know a lot of people, how they do no spends is spending to them is any like frivolous spends, stuff that's not like necessity. For me, even if I'm spending on stuff that's no necessity, I'm counting that as a spend. For me, how I track my no spends is days that I don't spend anything. Yeah, that's just how I do it. But anyways, I think that's everything, so I'm going to leave this here, and thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If you like this video, would you please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you get notified when I upload. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it. Hopefully I'll see you when we go to close this paycheck and this month out. Alright guys, as always, take care, and see you in the next one. Bye!